Detective, what is the meaning of all this?
Madame, I ask that you all lend me your ears for only a few moments. What I have to say is of great significance to everyone. You are all invited here to celebrate the engagement of Mademoiselle Angeline Vandenbosch and Monsieur Gédéon Demire, the coming together of two prevalent families. But the celebrations were short-lived, as Major Felix Hagen was found dead in his study by a young servant of the house. It then became my responsibility and obligation as a detective to uncover the truth behind his demise. My initial examination of his study exposed a number of things I did not expect to find. Things I have no desire to divulge at this time, but what I can say is this. It was no simple murder. A letter demanding ransom for a continued silence confirmed this. I am sure some, if not all of you, have heard whispers of a series of blackmails that have plagued the social elite in recent weeks. After hearing of the letters in the Major's study, you may ask if it was him behind the letters. You may further ask if he was preparing his next threat to another unsuspecting victim. It is a question that crossed even my mind. That was until I sought the truth. That in fact it was the Major that had fallen victim to our blackmailer Mystérieux. Last night I spoke with you all, confirmed your whereabouts in the house over the course of the evening, and while I would have expected such questioning to reveal a potential suspect, what I learned was that it could not have been one of you.
What do you mean, not one of us? The man was stabbed. He hardly did that to himself. There is still a killer in the house.
Pardon, monsieur, if you would allow me to finish. It could not have been only one of you. Rather a partnership, in cahoots, if you will. Conversations today have revealed facts that I was not expecting to discover. And although they may have muddied and complicated my investigation, what I must do to bring the guilty parties to justice has become clearer. Those of you that spun stories in an attempt to confuse and derail my investigation have made a grave mistake in underestimating my intelligence. Other detectives may fall for such deception, but I can assure you, Detective Poirot is no such fool. My investigation is far from over, and swift justice shall be dealt to those that have committed such appalling acts and have continued to mislead and lie to protect themselves. Now, I must continue mon enquête, and I shall leave you to consider that you may be beside a cold-hearted killer. Bonsoir. Monsieur Sterling, un moment.
Quite the speech, detective.
Merci, but it was not made to entertain, more to warn the guilty parties that I am hot on their heels, no matter how clever they believe themselves to be.
Well, if there is anything I can do.
I'd like to search the guests' bedrooms.
Is that really necessary?
The murderer remains at large, and there is still no sign of the weapon. I would say that makes them essential.
Of course. I still just cannot imagine any of them being guilty of his murder.
It may be hard to imagine, but it is the truth.
When you returned to the study last night, did you notice anything different from our previous visit?
Nothing. But I was so preoccupied with the Major. Sorry, Detective. Should I have?
Perhaps it was just my mind playing games again.
Maybe one of the guests got lost and wandered in.
If a guest has taken a wrong turn, finding themselves in the Major's bedroom first, I am sure they would not have proceeded through the next door unless they were not lost at all. Who has access to the safe in the Major's study?
Master Hagen had a key, obviously, and Lady Vandenbosch.
Monsieur Demure was quite sure Archibald also had a copy of the key. It is not something one would easily forget. Regarding access to the safe, you have seen its contents before?
When requested, aye. If something is required from there when Master Hagen is not around.
Forgive me. If he is not around, how is it you access this safe?
It's not what you think, Detective.
What I think is that you have been trusted with a copy of the key, and you have lied to me about it.
I only lied because of the trouble I can get into with Lady Vandenbosch.
At this moment, monsieur, you should be more worried about the trouble you shall find yourself in with the law.
I know how it will sound, but I lost my key. I must have set it down somewhere, and it has been tidied away. Master Hagen asked so rarely for me to go in the safe, I didn't think it would be missed.
Major Sterling's story is his lost key strikes me as rather coincidental. The major safe is broken into, with documents ransacked, and letters involving Madame Vanderbosch's secret left out. It is a crime with no apparent purpose. There is a letter regarding the contest that we must discuss.
I should have said this morning. I'm sorry.
Monsieur, I am not quite sure you understand the severity of what has happened.
I am well aware, Detective. I just thought she would be able to help.
Would you allow a man with a smoking gun to remove his bullet from a victim's chest?
I suppose not.
I understand that Monsieur Sterling was only trying to help, but surely he must have seen what it could do to the integrity of my investigation.
I would like to begin my searches now. Since it is closest, I will start with the west wing.
I may not be back when you return. Here is the key to the other rooms. Please return it when you're done.
Merci. I shall guard it with my life.
First, let us pay the Comtesse a visit. Before I can accuse anyone of any crime, I must be sure if they were working alone or with another. This is a perfect opportunity to find evidence of any collusion and look for the murder weapon. So we got Archibald Sterling, key to the East Wing rooms. Once I have completed my search of the guest rooms, I should return this to Archibald. Archibald allowed Margot, I believe that's how you say her name, to check the body. I can't allow Archibald would allow this to happen. The crime scene and body are now tainted. Whoops. Cassandra Vanderbosch, Cassandra, tried to find the letters she knew were hidden in the safe. Someone beat her to it. I was not aware their friendship spanned for so many years. It seems the Major has lived rather comfortably in the Vanderbosch house for many years. Elizabeth informed Cassandra of and what? Elizabeth informed Cassandra of an argument between Hugo and the Major. Could this have been the instigator of the tussle that resulted in his death? Following her inspection, she confirmed my thoughts of a tussle between culprit and victim. I was led to believe the Major asked for ice to be brought to him, but Rahana says otherwise. The story Gideon tells of his return was painful to hear. I hope he continues to seek help. Hey everybody, Crimson Dragon here, and we're now on to chapter 6 of Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, the first cases. So, yep. Now I'm kind of lost on what we have to do here. Okay. I guess we just talk to anybody right now and stuff. So, let's actually. Oh, we can't go upstairs anymore. Dang it. Can't even go downstairs. Well, let's talk to Archibald, see what he has to say.
Aye, detective.
Oh, guess he doesn't have to
Merci,
say
monsieur.
much.
I shall let you continue your duties. I would not want you to upset Madame Van den Bosch.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's see what her room has to offer. I shall make myself known for.
Entrez.
The Comtesse's room. It would be rude to not address her before searching her room.
Detective, what a pleasure. I did not expect to see you in my chambers.
In a purely professional capacity, I can assure you.
There is no need to act so stiff, Detective.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night, I'm afraid my sense of humor is all but gone.
I will not apologize again for merely trying to help. Shall we get straight to it then? Let us not waste your time any further, Detective.
Alright. She's a little too straightforward, I think. You know, a little, more than anything. But anyways, I saw you conversing with one of the young servants yesterday.
That would be Inga. She has been one of the most promising young women that has come from the shelter.
Madame Van den Bosch took in a young lady from your shelter.
There is no need to sound so surprised, Detective. She does have a heart.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect Madame to hire someone of that background after the incident with her previous maid, Florette.
People change, Detective. You should not judge someone on their past actions.
Believe me, Countess, I know that only too well.
Alright, now let's see here. I commend you on your decision. Dedication with the women you help. It is most honorable.
Be careful, Detective. That almost sounded like a compliment.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, Madame. Your work outside is something that many more could take note of.
We do what we can.
Alright. Have you been able to find many of the girls from the shelter work?
We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl. I in fact found work for one of them as a maid in Monsieur da Silva's house recently.
She has fitted into Monsieur's home well.
What is better, Detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able to rebuild her life with an honest wage in a prosperous house?
When put like that, is she happy in her position?
The happiest she has been in years. I check in with them all as often as possible. And if there was a problem, I would know.
I'm glad to hear that more girls are building a better future for themselves, and it is with help from the Comtesse that it has been able to happen. Wow.
Merci, madame.
Alright, let's see here. Alright. Margot offered the services of the women's shelter in finding a new maid for his staff. Now, Margot helped Inge get hired. Margot found Inge the position at the house. Her friendship with Cassandra surely helped. Margot works at the women's shelter. She is very proud of her role. That's good. I mean, helping people, that's great. Yeah. Okay, so let's search around, see what her room here has to offer. The chance to play is very tempting, but I shall save myself the embarrassment. Oh, it's only one person. What could hurt? Roaring fireplace, I could stand to gaze into the flames for hours while burning my retinas out.
Oh.
The time and skill it takes to build such a wonderful piece. It is an art form. Now, first aid kit full of medical equipment, bandages, plasters, antiseptics, and a pair of scissors. Perhaps a present for the family as a thank you for their hospitality. Falling snow has laid a beautiful white blanket over the countryside that surrounds the house. Plants need and rely on each other to survive, something we as a species could take a lesson from. Perhaps a happy couple's engagement has someone in a particularly romantic mood. That's without a doubt. The wonders of modern technology. What a joy it must be to have music at one's home. Okay, that seems to be everything. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. First aid kit. A first aid kit full of medical equipment, bandages, plasters, antiseptics, and a pair of scissors. So now we must talk to Margot. To advance the investigation. Okay. Let's see what we got over here. Where is that exclamation point? There it is. First aid kit. Okay. Interesting. So let's talk to her.
Go ahead, detective.
Perhaps I was a little rash with my response to you examining the Major's body.
A compliment and now an apology. Well, detective, you certainly have changed your tune.
There was something I was still unsure of. You mentioned that your training was some years ago.
From my days as a nurse, oui.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
One must always be prepared, detective.
Prepared? At an engagement celebration?
If I had not brought them, I would not have been able to assist you last night. Perhaps you should be thankful for my precaution and not so suspicious.
And has she not brought them at all? I would not have to ask such a question.
Merci, madame.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Margot came prepared. Margot claims she was very prepared. It must be quite a task carrying around all that equipment. Alright, no links so far, so that's good. Well, I think we are done inside this room now. Let's head to another room. I ever guarded Jacqueline Conrad. It is time I should question her on her conversation with the Major before searching her room.
Detective, what can I do for you?
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such intrusion.
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind answering some questions, it can hopefully be cleared faster.
I'd like to start with your relationship with the Major.
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Oui, but how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had with him, do you?
There is one particular I had in mind.
Tell me about your arrangement.
An argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
And that is not how it was?
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others. I saw the chance to get their names out there, and he didn't like it.
What was there not to like?
Your guess is as good as mine, Detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top of the article.
And his reason to storm off?
Oh, you know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to get me to stop the story. If you're gonna try and pay someone off, at least make it worth their while.
I thought the Major would only be supportive of Mademoiselle Angeline. There must be more to why he would not want her success to be known. Let's see. I'm sure you have grown weary of this subject, but Monsieur Becker?
You've really got a fascination with that guy, huh?
I would not say fascination. An interest, perhaps.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him. He's not that interesting. In fact, he's a bit of a wimp if you ask me.
That is not the impression I got of him.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. He knows what to say in front of the right people. But behind closed doors, he's clueless.
Clueless? In what way?
Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was a union leader. No, the voice of the people.
A man that is proud of his work is not something to be sneered at.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd. But that's about it. At the end of the day, he's a representative and nothing more. He's got to play the part, not just learn the lines.
Mademoiselle does not think particularly highly of Monsieur Becker. She is a strong, independent woman. But to use the term wimp is an unnecessary attack on his character.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Sure thing, Detective. And if you change your mind on that exclusive about that shooting...
If I do change it, you shall be the first to know.
Okay, let's see what she has to say in her room. Gramophone, okay. Yeah. There's papers. Among
Ah,
them, a recent article by Jackie Conrad about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Peaceful strikes turns the deuce of lives as violent breakouts on front line. Following the tragic events in the city that has darkened the spirits of people and brought to a screeching halt the rising defiance of the working class, the area of has been cordoned off and police presence at the scene has increased. Factory security forces have been asked to step down and the powers handed over to law enforcement services. Workers laid down their tools, switched off all machineries, and stood together, shoulder to shoulder, as they fight for fair pay and conditions raged on. What started as peaceful protests by those employed at the factories have turned into a battle of class with support for the workers coming in from all over the city. Although reports have been confirmed, sources state that violence broke out following a second wave surge of supporters. Official numbers have not been published, but it is believed that as many as 8 workers have lost their lives for the fighting. The workers' front line has been considered as a representation of the people and working class of Belgium that now refuse to work in such demanding conditions for such a demanding and uh, demeaning and insufficient wage. Chief Commissioner LaRue has confirmed that the outbreak of violence and resulting civilian deaths are being investigated, and an official statement is to be made in the coming days. Jacqueline Conrad. Okay, well. There does not
ah,
seem to be anything of interest in here. Nothing in the cupboard. Oh, we got a pocket knife. I
ah.
presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious scenarios. Fireplace is burned out our retinas.
Hmm.
Yeah, we already know about all that. Let's see here. Cut. Oh, cluttered workstation. Wonder what that said.
Aha.
Now Jackie has set up a makeshift office in her room. She must bring her work with her everywhere. Mr. Artigue spotted leaving the Velvet Tickle Friday at 23:15. Conbury House has been poaching off neighboring land, boar, deer, and duck. Maggie to follow up. Miss Bonte found her husband in their marital bed with a young maidservant. Testament from maid needed. Dr. Denault overheard in the uh, cuckling crow speaking poorly of King Leopold. He said questionable ideas. We say doubtful, skeptical, shady. Notes from Francis by Monday. Huh, okay, well, let's search out the window. We know what
Ah.
he's gonna say. Yeah, beautiful snow, beautiful white blanket, countryside, surrounds house. Yeah, okay. Fine. And there doesn't seem to be anything else. Okay, well, let's go through this R. See what all this. Obviously, we gotta talk to Jackie again. So Jackie's wrong. Yeah, Jackie's wrong. The Major tried to pay off Jackie. Blackmail seems to be a common theme amongst the upper class. Jackie wasn't keen on Felix's offer. Jackie's notebook. It seems to have made a good name for herself. She seems to have made a good name for herself. A stack of newspapers, among them a recent article by Jackie Conrad about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Therefore, we need to talk to her further about that. Then a pocket knife, I presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious scenarios. Okay, so that's that. Alright. So, what's over here? I think it's about the pocket knife. Yeah, pocket knife. Okay. But still no links that need to be made. So, that's good. It's right there, and I get totally confused about it. Alright, let's talk to her.
Go right ahead, Detective.
I was surprised to learn Monsieur De Silva and the Major worked together.
All Felix cared about was money and filling his pockets with it. That's why he got into bed with De Silva.
The Major was not in need of money, though.
Need and want are two very different things. Did he need to move here and leech off the Madame? No, but he wanted to.
Tell me your opinion of their work together.
As far as I know, De Silva hired him to work security. He was worried what could happen to his precious factories if things got ugly.
And your reporters were there to cover the story when it did turn that way.
My reporters go where there is news to be told.
And you predicted the violence that occurred?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen. If you ask me, Hugo should have acted sooner.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Jackie thinks Hugo was slow to react. Jackie doesn't rate Hugo much. She believes he could have acted sooner regarding the riots. The Major only cared about money. Jackie claims the Major only focused on money and didn't care about much else. Wow, okay. Well, that's that. Still no links to be made. So that's good. Okay. So, with that all due, everything was searched. Let's go to the next room. Here we are in Mademoiselle Angeline and Gideon's room. I wonder what we shall find. Oh, definitely. What will we find? Jeez. And nobody's here. Interesting.
Huh.
I could have mistaken it for my own. The drawer. There doesn't seem to be anything of interest in here. Okay, the piano. Oh, a photograph. It seems they used to be closer. Perhaps their recent behavior was merely a facade. Could it be possible that Gideon collaborated with Zakira? Interesting. Very interesting. Can we burn our writings out? No, not this time. Okay. Well, see nothing there. Check the grandfather's clock. Yeah. Window. Falling snow, beautiful white blanket, countryside surrounds the house. drinking globe. This one's actually closed. Wow. Surprising. Okay. So, what is that? It? That? Seriously, that's everything in here, huh? Alright, well, let's see here. Gideon's room. A photo of Gideon and Zachariah. It seems they used to be closer, perhaps their recent behavior was merely a facade. Could it be possible that Gideon collaborated with Zachariah? Gideon's room is pristine. Could have mistaken it for my own. Okay, well, there's nothing to be had in here, I guess. I mean, there's... scrolled over everything. I'm not seeing anything else that I need to do here. So, I guess, the second floor hall. Oh, no. Didn't seem like there was anything with the boots. With all the West Wing's rooms searched, I should make my way to the guest rooms on the east of the first floor. There must be evidence of collusion somewhere. I know Cassandra's room. The Majors. I'm gonna go through here again. There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. Okay. I guess that's that. Alright, guess I didn't miss anything. Alright.
Oh.
No, nothing new, nothing interesting. Okay. Alright, well, let's go on downstairs. It's kind of funny how we searched these rooms and we ended up on the third floor somehow. Which is interesting, so don't need to go to the library.
Mademoiselle, we meet again.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon, Détective Poirot.
Just a detective is quite all right.
Bon, can I help you with something?
It was you that alerted the house to the Major's body, was it not?
I was taking him a plate of food, but he didn't answer to my knocking.
You then entered the study.
I did. He wasn't moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be troubling for anyone, and I'm sure it is not a memory you wish to relive.
Tell me about your relationship with the other staff.
I suppose we're like a family. We argue, but most of the time we get along.
You must all be quite close, then.
Some more than others.
You refer to whom, mademoiselle?
Well, Maman Ray, sorry, Rihanna, She's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of Luke.
How is Mademoiselle Elizabeth's late fiancé connects them?
Maman Ray is Luke's sister. You didn't know that? I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. It must have been awful, losing him in those riots. Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged. They didn't stand a chance. If I had been the one responsible for his death, I wouldn't want Maman Ray looking for me.
Mademoiselle Rihanna, Maman Ray, she has expressed her desire for revenge.
Every time she talks about what happened.
How is it that the knowledge of Luke's death has eluded me for so long? The death of a brother is certainly motive enough. I did not see an aggressive side to Mademoiselle Rihanna when we spoke, but I wonder if she would act on such impulse for revenge if the opportunity arose. Yeah, depending on how close the family members are to each other and everything, yeah, it's plausible and everything to get revenge on a family member for a family member and everything that died. But anyways, if you do not mind me inquiring, what brought you to the women's shelter?
I guess you wouldn't know anything about life on the streets.
It is not an experience I have had to face personally, but I understand that many are forced into it, and the lifestyle that comes with it.
The lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly, oui.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me and pulled out their handcuffs.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around, and I commend you on your efforts.
Without the Countess, I would probably be rotting in a cell somewhere.
There is an obvious alliance to the Comtesse, and an understandable one at that.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Okay, well, now we got a new cell thanks to NG. NG may seem nothing more than a young innocent maid, but there is something that she is withholding. If I am able to solve the case before me, I must learn what it is. So NG Frank, NG previously prosecuted. NG was in trouble with the law in her younger years for theft specifically. NG feels disconnected from her peers. NG speaks of the family dynamic they share, but also the bond between certain staff members. NG confirms she found the body. It was NG that alerted all of us to the Major's corpse after all. NG got the job from Margot. NG came from the women's shelter and is clear about her loyalty with Margot. Why does this seem significant? Uh-oh, I have a feeling a link is going to be coming from this cell here at some point later on. And then from Archibald lost his key copy. It's quite irresponsible for Archibald to lose a key to a most valuable place. What could have happened to it? Dun dun dun. Archibald claims nothing was moved in the study. Besides the body, Archibald claims he moved nothing. Safe access. Archibald says the Major and Cassandra have access to the safe. And then we got the safe itself. A bulky safe made with security in mind. It's locked tight, but a box of valuables sits on top. Okay, well, interesting. So we don't have to go further into the other areas. But anyways, let's go into these rooms and see what we can find. I wonder if Monsieur Zacharia is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Oh. Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. There is something about Monsieur Zacharias' story that he is leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighs heavy on him. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse in the salon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Time to search your room and see what you have hidden in here. What are you hiding?
Oh,
The room is littered with mess, cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. Okay. Let's burn out my retinas. A roaring fire, I could stand and gaze into the flames for hours. Ooh, ceremonial dagger. An ornamental dagger from Zacharias' time in the war. This could be the same type of blade that could have stabbed the Major. I mean, the Major was missing his. So, I mean, this could be the same thing. Might not be the Major's dagger's personal one, but this could do just the same. Gramophone. I already know about that. Meal cart. Let's go look at the countryside. Fallen snow, beautiful white blanket, countryside. That surrounds the house. Okay, we got the plants. They're gonna produce anything? No. Same no text. Okay. Well, let's see what the cells bring us. So we got Zacharia's room. Oh, we've got a thing to make. Oh, jeez, crew. Of course we would. Zacharias says Gideon was polite to Margot. It does not surprise me to hear that Gideon would mind his manners when speaking with everyone. Cigarette butts. The room is littered with, mess. Cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. Zacharias hesitated to talk to Gideon. Zacharias doesn't seem keen to speak with his brother. There must be something holding him back. Zacharias hesitant to reconcile with Gideon. Despite my best efforts to push Zacharias, he seems hesitant to reconcile with his brother. A ceremonial dagger, an ornamental dagger from Zacharias' time in the war. And because of that dagger, we gotta talk to Zacharias because in this way, it's the major was missing his. Could technically this one be it? Or is it Zacharias himself's dagger? Who knows? Who knows? But it could also be the one that did stab the major. Okay, this, and then...
This will not get me any closer to my... The pieces
That's
of the
the one I was
puzzle are
looking for.
finally coming together.
The Demir brothers and strange relationship is enough to suggest they would not have worked together. Okay, well, no more links need to be made here or anything. But we still need to talk to Zacharias. And then in here we've got the dagger. No. NG got the job from Margot. NG came from the woman's shelter and is clear about her loyalty to Margot. Why does this seem significant? Means. Possible means or methods used when executing this crime. Interesting. Alright. Nothing else to look for there. Investigate the murder. This is where the knife comes in, right there. An ornamented dagger from Zacharias' time in the war. Possible instruments or tools, weapons used to commit the crime. I have a feeling that dagger might come into play. Alright, let's do it again.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
There's a particular item I found while conducting my search.
The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it. After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
I don't know. I'm starting to see my brother, getting together and pulling this off. Not looking good. Not looking good. And then Zacharias' dagger was a gift for Gideon. It would have made for a meaningful gift for his brother. Had the circumstances been different? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. Need to too bad we can't test it for blood. Probably there might be some on it. But if it would it be the majors? Who knows? Is there a Becker's room? Without him here, I am free to search it. Yeah, show me your secrets. What do you got hidden in here?
Ah,
Yeah. Wonderful piece, our form. Let's read the book. Inside Hugo's notes, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. Very curious. Let's see here. Fire's about to die. There's a note right next to it. I think I'm supposed to be going into the fire but missed.
oh.
It seems to... he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind. Unsuccessfully though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Scribbled out, your men, you are in a positive to bring all of this to an end. We, all we ask is what we deserve. Scribbled out, if you do not retract your men, they will be met with equal force. Too forceful. Scribbled out, your weapons may beat our bodies, but they will not bruise our hearts, spirits. Scribbled out, these are the men that have built our great nation and country and will continue to. Scribbled out, money will not save your soul. Plant, probably going to say the same thing. Yeah. Check out the window.
Oh.
Same thing, falling snow, beautiful white blanket, countryside that surrounds the house. Alright. Ooh, we got a photograph here.
Aha.
With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. Wow. Jeez, I'm crow. 8 brothers, sorry. Technically 7 brothers, 3 sisters. Oh, yeah. To get attention must be quite difficult in the house. But I see nothing else of importance here. Nothing of importance, so let's go through this here and see what we can find. Hugo's room. Scribed paper. It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind. Unsuccessfully though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. Well, Hugo's notebook. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. So, let me see here. Something has to tie Hugo's with Jackie. So, let's see. Coins of Major was forced. No. Major tried to pay off. No. Jackie thinks Hugo's slow to react. Jackie doesn't write Hugo much. She believes he could have acted sooner regarding the riots. I think it was this. And then this?
What a revelation!
Oh yeah, bingo. And check his opinion. She doesn't value Hugo particularly high. Would he collaborate with anyone else? I wonder. Dum dum dum. Interesting. And yeah, we got another link, so it must be this. In Jacob's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo particularly highly. Would he collaborate with anyone else? I wonder. So it would have to be this and this, possibly.
Magnifique.
Yeah. Hugo and Ernesto confirmed each other's alibis. It's possible that they may have colluded to murder the Major. Could I find anything to support this? I don't know. Maybe we'll have to check Ernesto's room. See if there's anything in there that would connect him to Hugo. The business-minded Monsieur de Silva's room. He is present, but I must begin my search.
Monsieur de Silva, I am sure you understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited, but it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Madame Van der Bosch spoke of your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame Van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you are both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
The business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
I am beginning to see Monsieur de Silva's more ruthless side. It sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make a positive change, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur de Silva's cutthroat edge. What we spoke of last night regarding Madame Van der Bosch.
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, Detective, but you have crossed the line.
Crossed the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Monsieur de Silva's actions are not a criminal offense, but there was a penalty for deception and deceit. He would surely receive a life sentence. If he has gone to such lengths before, what could stop him from committing a similar act again, this time to the Major? I know you have worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
You offered him a position.
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
The major work security for your factories.
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur de Silva's caliber to be argued to have agreed a price for the Major's services. Why would he allow the Major to barter more? Tell me about the Major's security team.
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. They looked like they knew what they were doing.
And this equipment, it included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, Detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
The more Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It's beginning to sound as though the riots were no accident.
That is all for now.
I don't know, De Silva. A letter stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Monsieur De Silva, at first you may question your nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. Okay. You have spent years feeding off of the hard-working back of others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their own hands, day after day, with your shoddy, damaged, and dangerous machines for a fraction of what they deserve. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, it is you workers that must pay the price. This person does not seem to have very great English and is sounding more and more like it's Hugo. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it could be somebody else. Anyways, the mistreatment and pain you have caused does not reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and I will not allow that to continue. I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard any sense of integrity and morality, and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those who deserve so much more. It is time you paid the price for your crimes, and the cost of 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if I do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money to in a small brown paper parcel addressed to Monsieur Courtier, to the post office on Rue des don't know. Give it to the cashier and leave. If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again, and you may continue your life of luxury. It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what yours is wealth. Wow. I really think due to what we read, that letter in Hugo's room and everything sounds awfully like this letter here, as in English and pronunciations and stuff. Um, it just sounds so similar that I have a feeling that it could possibly be Hugo that's writing these letters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we know the roaring flame, burning eyeballs, such and such, okay. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. 12.1. This agreement of government by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agreed to the following. 1. Current workers' strikes shall cease in all manners and forms. 2. Factory floor, machine operators and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. And 3. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Signed, M. Ernesto de Silva, factory owner and employer. And I assume that's supposed to be a signature there. And then M. Hugo Beckers, union leader. Obviously, no signature like it was stating prior. Okay, wow. Oh, we got a letter opener on the floor.
Huh.
A razor sharp letter opener, almost brand new. Lies disregard on the floor. Disregarded on the floor. But if I remember right earlier, it mentioned that the wound of the major was not caused by a letter opener.
Ah.
Yeah. We already know about all of that. Nothing about the plans. Okay, let's go to R. Let's see what we find here. You gotta talk to Ernesto again. Ernesto's room. And then we got a blackmail letter. A letter stating that blackmail would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Therefore, we must talk to Ernesto again. Letter opener. A razor sharp letter opener, almost brand new. That's discarded on the floor. And of course, we have to talk to Ernesto. And then we've got a partially signed contract. Between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. And again, must talk to Ernesto. But we have a link. So, I'm assuming with so many siblings, must have been difficult to get attention. We got here, seems attempted to write a speech of some kind, especially through 150. Hugo's notebook. Could be this and this. Probably not.
I must act on thought and fact.
Didn't think so. What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? There's gotta be something with Ernesto. Could be these two together.
I must take a different approach if I am to
No.
uncover.
Seriously? Most likely not.
Come, my little grey cells.
Didn't think
We
so. Seriously? This one here? Hugo and Ernesto confirmed each other's alibis. It's possible that they may be colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? I don't understand how. A partially signed contract. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. But that was about the strike and everything. How does that contract show collusion between Hugo and Ernesto? Well,
Things are beginning to become clearer.
I am doubtful this duo would collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house? Perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi? I don't know. Like I said, these are links that's supposed to show a connection between two things, between two people, in evidence. So I don't understand how this link has a connection. And that's if my mind just doesn't think that way. I don't know. But we still gotta talk to Ernesto again. So let's go in here. Where is letter, blackmail letter to Ernesto? A letter stating that the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. So we got another blackmail letter. Somebody else. Everybody's being blackmailed inside this house. It's crazy. And now we got the razor sharp letter opener, almost brand new. Lights discarded on the floor. Okay, well, GSM Crow. Let's just add to everything. Let's talk to Ernesto again and see what he's got to say.
What is it now, detective?
Let's go with this. You were expecting some correspondence this weekend?
Excuse me? Detective, I think you are beginning to lose your mind.
I do not think it is unreasonable to question why you would feel the need to bring a letter opener with you.
Really, detective? If I had stabbed a man with it, do you really think I would have left it lying out in my room?
Monsieur de Silva is correct. It was a stretch to believe someone would be so careless. The murder weapon remains somewhere in the house, though. Monsieur Demir invited Monsieur Beckers so that you two might sit down and find some common ground.
Yes, and no one asked them to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Why have those talks not taken place and a deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, detective.
Although it is Monsieur de Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question. It sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue. Surprising unlike Monsieur Becker's. Push on, Wyatt. Ernesto hid the letter. Here we go.
I have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business, and it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I do not enjoy.
Monsieur de Silva has remained blunt, if not curt, with his responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in a courteous and empathetic manner, so that he may more forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter and its contents. Alright, so we got straightforward. There must be a reason you thought justified hiding it, or authoritative. You do not have to enjoy it, monsieur, but you must answer to it. Let's go straightforward. There must be a reason you thought justified hiding it.
No reason, detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
I will be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
Condemning. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money. Concerned. You do not have valued the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life you do. None of these really sound good. Oh, please don't grow. What one could it be? What one should we do? Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, you do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life you do. Well, as far as concerned, let's see what happens.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff. Both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject on how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. Do you have any idea as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
I did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
This must be the young girl that the Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the positions she is finding for these girls are not the best fit.
That is all for now.
Awesome, we got a link. So we've got Ernesto unwilling to pay blackmail. Ernesto is refusing to acknowledge what is in the letter, let alone pay it. And then Ernesto's newest maid is from Margot's shelter. Another young woman given a deserved second chance.
Order and method.
What?
That is the way. What could it be? What could it be? Is there something?
Evidently there is something I'm missing. Like usual. Probably my brain. Oh, seriously, I have a feeling it's this here, but what? What could it be? I highly doubt.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Seriously, these two? Ernesto employed a servant from the woman's shelter. Ernesto's newest maid is from Margot's shelter. Another young woman given a deserved second chance. Hugo and Ernesto seem unlikely to collude. I am doubtful this duo would collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house? Perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi. But I had a feeling this might have been the connection and everything, but it was just so far off in my eyes, in my mind, that this would have worked. That this would have been the linkage. But the computer says otherwise. The game says
Another
otherwise,
success.
so I'll do
I
it.
never doubted myself.
Ernesto doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would ask for help, no matter how important. So, talk to Ernesto to advance the story. Like I said, I don't get it, but Ernesto mistreated his employees. Whether he wants to admit it or not, Ernesto has clearly not been treating his staff with respect. And now we got a link, so it's that and Blackmail wishes family to leave the manor. The letter suggests that Blackmail wants to see the family to do everything, including the house. Possible motives for committing this crime. Blackmail clearly wants to see the family fall. Believes the staff knows the truth behind its dismissals. They know the family has a secret. Jackie knows a lot about the guests. It's her job to know and report the news. It's not surprising that she knows the guests at such an event.
This will not get me any.
I think so. I take the chance. But it's this here. Wants to see the family fall, possible motives for committing this crime. That's just a blackmailer wants to see the family lose.
Come, my little grey cells.
Tommy's gotta be this model one.
I must take a different approach if I am to.
Come on. Oh, I didn't see this one down here. Ernesto employed a servant for the woman's shelter. Ernesto's newest maid is from Margot's shelter. Not the young woman given a deserved second chances. Igni got the job from Margot. Igni came from the woman's shelter and is clear about her loyalty to Margot. Why does this seem significant?
Some would say a lucky guess.
Margot is making her shelter girls do her dirty work, finding dirt on members of the social elite. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Alright. But let's talk to Ernesto, see what he's got to say further.
What is it now, detective?
Did you speak with Comtesse directly about hiring a servant from the shelter?
She approached me. I thought it was rather brash.
In what way?
Assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background. She is running the charity, not I.
Monsieur, there is something you are keeping from me. Your business relationship with the Major was obviously towing the legality.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down the drain, I had nothing for him. But he said he could help me get them all back to work and the factories earning. His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it. A week passed and they were all still on strike. In fact, even more had joined them. He made excuse after excuse, demanding more and more money for the job to be done. But he never actually told me what he was going to do.
The riots.
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
And even following such a tragedy, he continued to demand money from you.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my livelihood, my name? If it got out that I had paid the so-called security that did that.
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to take action against your own workers. You deserve whatever name is chosen for being so morally bereft in your decision-making.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. You must believe me.
I have to believe nothing but the truth. And the truth, monsieur, is that it is not only the Major that has the blood of those men on his hands. That is all for now.
Dum dum dum. And then we got a new link. Margot's approach Ernesto to offer help sometimes perturbs me about Margot's forceful nature. This reminds me of another innocent incident. What could it be?
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look... Is there something I am... Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Margot may know more than she is letting on, if she has an inside link with the staff of the house. I have found no clear evidence of the guests working together in a capacity. What has become clear is the Countess' connection to the staff. Could there be something more to their relationship? Oh, done. Gotta talk to Angie. But this cell is complete. I don't know. Some of these things are just kind of outrageous, I think. They just don't seem to go together whatsoever. But maybe it's me. I don't know. Angie, come here. Let's talk.
Is there something you need, Detective?
Tell me about the true relationship with the Countess.
She helped me at the shelter and with this job.
That I am already aware of. What I am not is what else she tasked you with.
Pardon, Detective?
I know that your position as a servant in this house is not your only job. What did Countess de Vos ask you to do while in this house?
She said I had to do what she asked, or I would be back on the street. I didn't want to do it. If anyone found out, I would be the prime suspect.
Madame Van der Bosch would have been aware of young Inge's past, and she is worried that they would accuse her. What was asked of her must be related to her past life as a thief.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Inge is following Margot's orders. She feels a great sense of gratitude towards Margot and but follows her orders most blindly. Could this lead to her to do something she may later regret?
I must act on thought and fact. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Inge has admitted that her work in the house is not wholly honest. I must talk to Inge to advance the conversation.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
I thought it was irresponsible for Archibald to lose his key, but now its disappearance makes sense. It was stolen. Margot has thanks to several staff members. Margot may know more than she is letting on. If she has an inside link with the staff of the house. Alright.
Is
Spill
there
beans.
something you need, Detective?
What is it that Countess asked you to steal from the house?
Nothing. She said I was to take nothing.
If it was not something she wished you to take, what was it?
She wanted me to find out information about the family and Monsieur Hagen.
Why did she request that?
At first I didn't know, but when I heard about Mademoiselle Angeline being blackmailed, and then the Major, I knew she had used what I found.
Perhaps my suspicion of Monsieur Sterling's involvement with the Major's safe were incorrect, and his key was not lost but stolen. Tell me how you accessed the safe.
I knew Monsieur Archie had a key, and it would be easy to get it from him.
You knew that the Major asked Monsieur Sterling to access the safe from time to time, and if anything was ever discovered missing, he would surely take the blame.
I never took anything. I only told the Countess what I had found.
And that was?
About Monsieur Hagen and the Madame's relationship. And Angeline.
I'm sure the Countess was pleased to hear such valuable information.
She said I had done a good job, but I needed proof. That's why I went back and got the letters last night.
So, it was the young Angie that beat Madame Van Bosch to the safe last night. But why would they be left in such a precautious fashion? When I returned to the study this morning, the letters remained out in the safe
I
open.
fetched the letters again and took them to the Countess last night. But she shouted at me and said what a stupid girl I was.
You were only doing as she requested.
She said it was too dangerous for her to have them with you around. That's when I returned them to the study. I thought I heard someone on the stairs, so I just threw them back. It was dark, as I dared not turn the light on. Someone would have seen it.
Trying to slot a key into a lock in the dark is no easy feat. That would explain the scratches on the safe. If Madame Van der Bosch had only tried to retrieve the letter minutes earlier, she would have surely crossed paths with Angie.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Oh, let's see here. This room. Angie knows of the hidden room. This room I keep hearing about is certainly well hidden, and at the same time well revered. The safe. It seems Angie was able to gain access to Felix's safe. How did she achieve this? Without Angie scratched the safe. Without any light, even the simplest task is challenging, like starting a key into a lock. So we got an obvious link here and whatnot, and I believe it's these two.
I must
Oh,
act on
come
thought
on.
and fact, not on impulse. I must take a different approach.
Seriously.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Alright, well, I wonder how many secrets the house holds for Angie to find.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
I do sometimes. If there is somewhere in the house where a secret lies, it will surely be found in the hidden room. My suspicion of Contessa's connection with Angie was correct. She was using the young girl to find out anything and everything she could about the family, while the Countess need not even get her hands dirty. And I must talk to Angie again. But also, Angie was tasked with gathering information. Margot got all her information from Angie. She didn't even think about getting her hands dirty. Witch. Got another witch on the loose. Well, let's talk to Angie, see what she has to say. Oh, I forgot this cell. So we've got Van der Bosch. Secrets may be in the hidden room. If there is somewhere in this house where a secret lies, it will surely be found in the hidden room. I gotta find that room. Van der Bosch secrets. Okay. So I have a feeling it must be this. This cell here, but with what? Margot has names to several staff members. No, that don't seem like it. Key items relating to this case. That needs to be...
Order and
No?
method. That is the way to solve the problem.
Major confesses his love for Cassandra. No.
This will not get me any closer.
Instruments.
Is
Come.
there something I am not seeing?
Obviously, this thing I'm not seeing.
Magnifique.
Such a calculated web of lies and secrets. What motive could possibly justify such devious actions? Finally, I have unmasked the blackmailer. Mademoiselle Angeline and the other recipients of such letters may no longer live in fear. Comtesse de Vaux shall pay for her crimes. Come on, I want to find that room. There's something else inside that room.
Mademoiselle, merci for coming.
Have you had a breakthrough, Detective?
I have. Finally, I have the news you have awaited.
Please, Detective, don't hold me in suspense.
I have finally uncovered the identity of the one holding the Van der Bosch name in ransom.
Oh my, I feel faint at the thought of knowing who could have done this to us.
It is said to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is Comtesse de Vaux that is behind the letters.
I don't believe it. What about the Major's letter?
Not only his, but a letter to Monsieur da Silva.
She was blackmailing him as well? Detective, I just don't know what to say.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of information to take in.
I just don't understand why she would do such a cruel thing.
What do you know of young Unchi's past?
She has never been particularly forthcoming with it, only that she was homeless for some time and that she was at the women's shelter before here.
And it is there that the Countess abused her power and manipulated her to uncover secrets of the family.
All this time she has been working for Margot, doing her dirty work?
I am afraid so, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle is in a state of shock to learn that such a close friend to the family has betrayed them in such a cruel way. It must be devastating.
Is Maman aware?
You are the first I have told, mademoiselle. Next will be the authorities.
I'm afraid that we'll have to wait.
Whatever that word is, Mademoiselle, we must go through the correct channels.
And we will. I want to see her punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we cannot telephone anyone, as the lines are still down.
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier. I had hoped they would be working again. Last night's snow must have caused more damage than expected.
Last night? They have been done all weekend, Detective. Detective? Are you okay?
How could I have been such a fool? I saw Monsieur Sterling talking on the telephone, but I heard no ring.
Detective Poirot?
It was all a lie. A scene acted out of my benefit to throw me off the scent. If I believed that the Major was still alive at that time, I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand. Anyone being Monsieur Sterling and his
Would
staff.
you like me to fetch you a glass of water, detective?
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was taken by surprise for a moment, but I have regained my composure. A glass of water is not required. Would you excuse me? Merci, mademoiselle.
Chapter 7. My patience has grown thin. The guests and the staff of this house think it is acceptable to lie to my face when questioning an obstruction of my investigation, but no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. I had been lied to for the last time. My suspicion initially led me to the guests, but how they are firmly placed on the staff. Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rahana cannot hide behind their lies any longer. Luke died at the factory strike. Such a horrible way to go, and at least he died fighting for a noble cause. Ernesto paid the major well for his support. It sounds as though it was a substantial amount of money after the major was paid for his services. Ernesto was being extorted by the major. It seems that Ernesto was being extorted by the major following the riots, being paid and paid more money for pretty much no work being done. Security attacked first. Ernesto has confirmed that the major security force attacked first at the riots. Well, that's not good. Go figure. And then the major was extorting money from Ernesto. It seems that Felix was extorting money from Ernesto after the riots. The major tried to pay off Jackie. Blackmail seems to be a common theme amongst the upper class. Jackie wasn't keen on Felix's offer. Angie came from the woman's shelter. Angie was at the woman's shelter before Margot found her a position at the Vanderbosch house. Angie previously prosecuted. Angie was in trouble with the law in her younger years, for theft specifically. Angie was tasked with gathering information. Margot got all her information from Angie. She didn't even think about getting her hands dirty. Angie is following Margot's orders. She feels a great sense of gratitude towards Margot and follows her orders almost blindly. Could this lead to her do something she may later regret? Angie accused access to safe. It seems Angie was able to gain access to Felix's safe. How did she achieve this? Rihanna wants revenge. I do not blame her for wanting revenge after losing her brother in such a terrible way. Rihanna is Luke's sister. Angie confirms that Rihanna is Luke's sister. Such trivial information has eluded me for so long. That's it. Alright, well, that's that, everybody. So we've learned so much more in the fact that Margot was the one that was pretty much blackmailing everybody, getting her information through the sources of NG, who was accused of being a thief and everything. So she was able to uh, steal the key from Archibald Sterling, um, and gain information from the safe and whatnot. Um, and because of the scratches around the lock and stuff, Angie was doing it in the dark, so must have been pretty dark in order not to be able to see right where the keyhole was. Was able to scratch the around the lock of the safe. So evidently there's a hidden door or a room that's off from the major study. I hope we get to see what that one is, where that is, and what's behind it. I'm really curious about that one. And then, so, but come to find out, it's more, seems that it's more about the staff themselves that's actually doing all this too. I wonder how deep involved they are in this whole blackmailing business and whatnot. So, I can't wait to see what that deal is. But, with that being said, without further ado, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment about it, what you think, and who do you actually think is the ones that actually committed this whole blackmail and murder and stuff? I mean, we still don't even know who murdered the major. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments, and we'll see how right you are. Hopefully, maybe in the next chapter. Um, share the video and everything. Somebody might be interested in this whole story line and everything. And go ahead and subscribe. We'll have to make some more videos of this and everything as much as possible. Um, but with that being said, without further ado, be healthy. Bye.